We're here on location at Santa Agueda Fort, located at Agueda Heights, Guam, USA. And this fort that's constructed over here in the late 1800s, it was used, I'm gonna look at my phone here for some history. It was constructed at this location to prevent the enemy from taking the hillside behind Agueda. And around 1933, the United States Navy used this as a signal station. And during World War II, the Japanese converted this fort into a gun emplacement. And you can see later on during the photo shoot, when we're shooting our model Nina here, you'll see the Spanish cannons up there, and I believe those are Spanish cannons. So the video today is I want to talk to everyone about my experience with the Sony A7R II full frame camera. I have been using this camera a little over a month, about 5 weeks. So this experience is based on a month of me using the camera. I'm going to talk about the 5 main reasons why I don't like this camera system compared to the Fujifilm system, which I'm used to. And I have been shooting the Fujifilm system for about a month. And again, our model today is Nina.
My name is Nina. I'm 22 years old. I have an associate's degree in visual communications. My hobbies are photography. I like to go out hiking, swimming, all that. Anything outdoors I enjoy. I'm half Filipina, half Japanese. I know no knowledge of Tagalog, but I do speak fluent Japanese. Right now I work 2 jobs, just trying to get my life in order. Yeah.
And you know, I'm actually supposed to be 5'9". I don't know if when you get older, you get shorter, but as you can see, Nina's taller than me, but I think it's because
the heels.
She's wearing heels, yeah. And I think you're actually 5'7"?
5'7".
5'7", but the heels must add like 4 inches?
I don't even know, like 3 inches?
3 or 4 inches.
So maybe I'm like 5'10" right now?
Yeah, I need to work on my posture. Okay, we're losing daylight, so let's start shooting. You notice the battery life? It's at 46%, and when I started shooting, actually less than 30 minutes ago, it dropped from about 80% down to 46. And I've been adjusting settings, and pretty much everything is kept default, but battery life just keeps on dropping really quick. Actually more faster than the Fujifilm system. And I noticed if I charge the battery 100% and I put it in the camera, overnight the next day, it would lose about 3% and it would be at 97%. So that's one of the things I've noticed, that the battery life isn't really that good on the Sony system. One, 2, and 3. The thing, second thing I don't like about this camera is it's very slow to transfer the raw image, which is compressed raw, so about 43 megabytes to the card. Even though you have a fast SD card, I'm using a Sony 94 megabytes per second. I looked up online that even though you have a fast card, it's only limited to about 36 or 37 megabytes buffer to transfer from the camera to the card. So sometimes when I'm shooting a model and I want to pixel peep and check the image, it will say unable to write to card. So for example, I'm going to take one shot of Nina. 1, 2, and 3. And when you try to view the image, it will say something like this. Write to memory card, unable to operate. I'll get that like almost all the time. So once again, I'll do a shot, try to view it. Again, writing to memory card, unable to operate. Also, I know writing images to the memory card is slow. Also, when trying to zoom in and pixel peep, I press the button and it takes like 5 seconds or more. This is a helicopter that was passing by. Okay, a shot, or a landscape shot. Zoom in. 1, 2, 3, 4, about 5 seconds. Yeah, I know it's 43 megapixels, but it should be a little bit faster. Thing about the A7R II is the raw file output. The colors on the raw file, I don't really like it. When I look at the raw files on the computer, it's kind of flat. I'll show on the screen soon pictures from the A7R II unedited and pictures from the Fujifilm X-T1 or X Pro 2 unedited, and I do prefer the colors from the Fujifilm RAW format over the RAW files from the A7R II. Focusing on Nina with the A4 adapter using the 135 Zeiss lens, my favorite portrait lens on a A7R II. And I noticed that Sony has a hard time focusing when there's a bright lit subject or there's a bright source of light behind the subject, like such as the sun. And other camera systems I've tried in the past, like Nikon, had an easier time focusing. So focusing, I noticed, isn't that quick. Even with the native lenses, I tried the 24-70 f4 Sony lens, and it did have slower time focusing. I tried the Zeiss 24-70 2.8 with the EA3, not as fast as DSLR focus that I'm used to. And now with the EA4, I'm having a hard time focusing with this lens sometimes. I do have to make the flexible points to medium size. Small size does have a hard time catching focus, but medium size actually focuses a bit faster. The fifth thing about this body, the A7R II, is you see my pinky is below here. I don't really like the way it feels in my hand. Sometimes I do prefer the DSLR, but for me the Fuji X-T1 felt better in my hands, as well as the X Pro 2. And even sometimes the dials, I easily push these dials, such as the wheel at the back. If I accidentally touch it, I will change my white balance. I know you can actually disable this or customize it, but sometimes just like trying to pick it up, I'll push a whole bunch of buttons and change certain settings, and I'll get pissed off if I change the white balance to something else and all my pictures are blue, and then in post-process I have to put it back. We're done with our photo shoot with Nina. I listed 5 things I don't really like about the Sony A7R II. This is just my own opinion, but I actually do prefer the Fujifilm system, the usability over the Sony system. But the thing the Fujifilm system does not have at this point is a full frame sensor. So I'm not able to get the shallow depth of field I am able to get with the Sony system, because it has a full frame sensor, and the Zeiss 135 1.8 lens is very excellent in blurring out the background, and subject to background separation is very good. And I also want to mention that JPEGs, not only the raw files seem flat on the Sony system, the JPEGs I also don't like, but the JPEGs from the Fujifilm is much better. And Nina, how did you like the photo shoot today?
I liked it. It was a good experience. I learned a lot about posing, mostly because I don't model a lot at all. So it was fun.
And you'll be entering Miss Universe?
Miss Universe, yes.
Later on?
Later on. Yeah.
And you also want to get Fujifilm?
Yes, I do. I want a Fujifilm camera so bad. I'm gonna check it out.
You were telling me earlier you're a photographer?
Not really.
Kind of like amateur photographer?
Yeah, amateur mostly. But I'm getting there.
That'd be good. It's always good to be the person in front of the lens as a model, and also be the person behind the lens.
Definitely.
So when you're actually doing the posing, you kind of see yourself behind the lens and know exactly what to do. Yeah. And of course, like with models and photographers, we're still learning with every photo shoot.
Day.
Okay, thanks for watching. Battery is about to get exhausted. We were shooting for about an hour and 20 minutes, hour and 30 minutes. Actually, if I maybe take a couple shots, soon it will say battery exhausted, and I would have to change the battery. I actually did, but I just wanted to put back the old battery to show you guys that battery life isn't that great.